Hi everyone, it's George and Rachel.
Hi.
Today's video, our first on a series on YouTube, is called Getting Started, Starting Over. And the reason I say that is because 23 years ago, my whole family lost over 560 pounds as a family of four. I lost 265.
I lost a lot.
Too much. Anyway, yeah, she's disappearing.
I weigh less now than my goal weight of 125. So that'll tell you something.
Whoops. Sorry about cat video. Anyway, the other point is that during COVID and illnesses that I incurred, I had gained about 90 pounds. Get down, kitty. And so about 3 months ago or so, I started working as a chef again, finally got off the couch, and I'm down 60 pounds, still have at least 30 to go, and this time I might go that extra 10 or 15 that always followed me around. And we hope that you'll take this journey with us.
When you start low carb and you have a lot of weight to lose, the beginning weight is somewhat easy to just drop off, and sometimes it happens very quickly, so much that when I lost weight, I didn't recognize my own reflection in glass panels. We were walking down the sidewalk in New York City, in New York, to be on Dr. Oz show, and I was like, it took me a second to realize I was looking at my own reflection. I had lost so much weight so fast, I didn't even recognize myself.
Well, Christian, when he went back to school, he had been 300 pounds at 15. He lost 65 pounds. And when he went back to school, he claimed that everybody thought he was Christian's brother.
His friends didn't recognize him. They thought he was a different person.
Well,
and speaking about Christian, we were clothes shopping after not getting smaller sizes for a while. And I had to keep calling Christian from the dressing room. Christian, get me a smaller size. This doesn't fit. It's too big. And he would get me the smaller size. And I'm like, this doesn't fit either. Get me a smaller size. And I'm like, I should have came shopping sooner. This is way too many sizes. That I can't believe how much weight just dropped off.
Well, that's really motivational. And quite honestly, I found out that we try to provide the two missing ingredients to successfully change the way you look at food and eat. And that is something that doctors and other professionals may not be providing fully enough. And that is the motivation and inspiration to do so. If you have that light bulb go off in your head and you know you can do it, I guarantee you can.
We did it, and we have motivated a lot of people to just think about it. It's something you can do. And like I said in the first video, if you have trouble with cravings, just try it for 2 weeks. You'll be surprised. The cravings will disappear, hopefully.
Well, 20 some odd years ago when we got started, people ask us all the time, how did you get started? And I like to say we got started laughing.
It was a joke.
It was a joke.
We thought
Atkins was a joke. No, he wasn't. But we thought it was a joke.
It was too good to be true. We didn't think it could actually work. So we were out to prove that what we thought was not gonna work. We wanted to prove.
Right. We wanted to prove that you couldn't eat all the bacon and eggs and steak that you wanted and gain weight. So we lived in Kissimmee, Florida, land of buffets. And off to the buffets we went. We went up to the lobster feast and we splurged one night, and I had like 8 Maine lobsters, 100 steamers dipped in butter, some steak, and I went back and I unbuttoned my size 68-inch pants and went up for about 5 different plates of food.
A lot of food.
2 days later, I was down 4 pounds. And I said, this is the diet for me. We got to go to another buffet.
Of course, we were very careful. We were very careful, only choosing all the low carb items. You have to be very careful. You gotta just like skip the bread at a restaurant.
For the first time, we were picking and choosing. Even though it was a buffet, we left the high carb, white, simple carbohydrates behind, and we did eat all the steaks and chicken and meats and proteins and broccoli and some salads. And to this day, I could remember all the different buffets in Kissimmee, but something happened that we didn't expect. After 2 weeks of running out to buffets, and I'm telling you, we did. This is a true story. We didn't want to go to buffets anymore. And we had no idea what that meant. So we took this book that was left at our house, the Dr. Active Diet Revolution, and we started to actually read it. We had only read the stereotypical actions. Hey, you eat all the bacon and steak and eggs and cheese and you'll lose weight. Well, we took it seriously. And we found out that after 2 weeks of no simple carbohydrates or limiting them greatly and no sugars at all, we were readjusting and we weren't hungry. We didn't have that appetite because we had leveled off for the first time in our lives.
We had to remind ourselves, oh, lunch was an hour ago. We should eat lunch.
So we were in control. And then we could take it to the next level and the next level. And we made a career out of reinventing all the foods that everybody said, oh, you can't have that. You can't have that. The heck we can't. And Rachel, being the baker in the house, started with cheesecake.
Yep.
It became today the #1 recipe that we've ever written. I like to say our life is a cheesecake, a sugar-free, no crust cheesecake.
No crust.
Yeah, we actually broke into the Food Network with a cheesecake.
Well, we didn't break in, but we got in sideways.
Unannounced.
We got in sideways, not normal.
It was lunchtime. We dressed as chefs. We brought in a carry case, like all the other people that were bringing food to the high rise in Manhattan. And we said, we've got a cheesecake. We've got to give it to the Food Network. And it was noon. They go, let them up. There's a lot more to that story, but we're getting off track here. The whole idea was, when we got started, we were started by being motivated that we could finally eat all the wonderful food that I was preparing my customers in the restaurants, but wasn't eating myself, was skipping breakfast, lunch, dinner, going home, eating the first meal, hanging on the refrigerator door, or bringing fast food.
Swallowing a gallon of orange juice.
Being dehydrated and drinking OJ instead of water or Propel, which we love Propel because it's a sugar-free Gatorade drops.
Right.
And of course, coffee and tea all day. Coffee is brewing.
Espresso is almost ready.
Yeah. So when I found out that that's the food that we needed to be eating and we could lose weight, I knew I was going to be successful, and I dropped 200 pounds in the first 18 months. Christian dropped, 165 soon after that. We were on The View one time. Barbara Walters said, how'd you get your kids to go on a low-carb diet? Christian said, I can answer that. He said, we didn't make him go on a diet. We kept all his food separate.
We had separate cabinets for the carbs, so we didn't have to look at them all the time.
Right. He had his macaroni and cheese, 3 boxes for $1 that he made every day after school. And what happened was, in his own words, I saw the wonderful food that my parents were eating, and I couldn't resist.
Couldn't resist.
So he started eating what we were eating.
But he made one mistake. He wasn't eating enough. He wasn't eating enough. He was acting like a diet. And so
you got to eat to lose weight.
His beginning was a little rough because he didn't start losing weight right away. But then when we realized the dilemma that you got to eat to lose weight, and he understood he needed to start eating, then the pounds started to come off.
Well, we've been all over the place, and that's normal, and we haven't even had the espresso yet.
I'm almost ready. All right, let's
we're going to have it with you, evidently. But the whole story is that you've got to eat to lose weight, and you can shop the outer aisles of your grocery store. Hold on a second. Get your timer off. Where all the wonderful fresh food is. The same food that our ancestors raised and grew and bartered and traded and cooked and ate, and we didn't have an obesity problem. And that makes it a little easier. We also have a lot of information on our website, stellastyle.com, where you can go grocery shopping virtually with us. You can carb-proof your pantry to get motivated and started by getting it out of sight and out of mind, those dirty little white, nasty, carbohydrate-laden, ridden box foods. And don't throw them away, give them to a neighbor, they might need some food. But getting motivated to get started again for me, I had to almost hit rock bottom again because I had had Legionnaire's disease. My lungs were compromised for up to 6 months. I got weak, and so I was convinced, and I finally just bit the bullet and went back part-time in the restaurants, and now I'm full-time, and I'm busting my butt, and it hurts every day, but ibuprofens and hot baths help. But, come on. Oh, okay.
Espresso's ready.
Yes, we're all over the place. Here, have yours.
So, going back to when we first started, right before we started trying this low-carb lifestyle, I had decided that I am tired of dieting and trying to stay a normal weight. I was a little bit overweight, not too bad, but I was always watching what I was eating, and so I just said, everybody's fat, why do I care? I'm just gonna eat whatever I want, and we're gonna just be the fat family, and that's just the way it is. And I ballooned up over 200 pounds in no time. That was easy. Putting on weight was easy. And then, right after this all happened, George started his low carb journey, and of course I had to support him and join him.
I'm a chef. Nobody can resist what I was cooking. When I learned that it was all the food that I love, but I wasn't eating. That was the problem.
Right.
I was taught, don't eat the profits. You know, snack on a French fry on your way around the kitchen.
You were fasting the whole time you were working, and then you just
can't eat in the heat.
Also, I remember sleep eating. You were exhausted. You'd go to sleep. You'd wake up. You'd raid the fridge, and that wasn't healthy. But then after we started low carb, then if you raided the fridge, it was all low carb. So
well, let's leave on a positive note. Eat the foods that you love. If you can't have them, if you think you can't, make them low carb. Don't do without, reinvent. Because if you're not eating the foods you love, you're dooming yourself to failure.
We have lots of recipes where we substitute.
We're going to do them too, right here.
We substitute many different things to accommodate people's taste, to satisfy a need to have something that you're used to. And you do it differently, but it tastes very similar, and that's the way you enjoy it, and then you don't have to worry about a lot of health issues. You're in a better state because you're always you're not hungry. If you can eat all the food you want, if it's low carb, you're never hungry.
And make sure you eat enough, because
if you're hungry, you're doing it wrong.
Okay, well, let's leave it on that note for this first episode, and know that we're going to try some cooking and maybe try to stay on one subject at a time. That's going to be impossible. But if you like what you see and you want us to continue, and we are going to, look in the comments below. And feel free to donate $1, $2, $3, whatever you want. We have PayPal set up and Cash App. And we'll see you again at least by next Monday or Tuesday. We're looking to do at least one a week, maybe more. I mean, it seems like fun.
Thank you.
Have a great day, and you can do it. We did it, and we know you can too. Bye.